everyone. Welcome to my Hood Table fam and also to my Tanya's Primetime TV fam. Thank you so much for tuning in tonight. I know I have been promising to complete the Surviving R. Kelly Season 2 series, but I've been so busy doing other things and keeping up with this major murder trial here in our area in Omaha, Nebraska, and also trying to keep up with my other primetime TV show reviews as well. So I finished off season 2, episode 4 of Surviving R. Kelly probably 3 weeks ago. And I was like, I know they keep asking me when I'm going to finish it off. So finally, I found a chance to get caught up so I can finish off the season 2. Oh yeah, by the way, everybody coming on in, make sure you hit the like button, share the live out if you like, subscribe to the channel if you're already not subscribed, and make sure you hit the notification bell. So, anywho, we're finishing off Surviving R. Kelly Season 2, Episode 5. And the title of this episode was called Bring Our Girls Home. And if you saw the thumbnail, if you paid attention to the thumbnail is a picture of Azriel Clary and her family kind of like taking a photo shoot where they're celebrating, they're dancing around and, just having a good old time because Azriel is finally home. As of December of 2019, Azriel is finally home with her family. And this has been a long road for her family. A really long road for her family. And actually, I think the only one left is actually Joyce Lynn. I believe that's the only one left out of all the ladies who have got away from him or, detached themselves from him. Joyce Lynn is the only one left. Now, Azriel, she finally left and she's with her family now, but they did say at the end of the series that she does continue to support R. Kelly as he prepares for the trial. But I'm like, I wonder how she's supporting him at the same time when they're also saying that she has mentioned that, after she got away, she had mentioned that the reason why most of the ladies, a lot of the ladies didn't come forward earlier or was trying not to go against him was because it's alleged, and we've been hearing this for a long time, that, R. Kelly had them doing things to other younger children, teenage girls, and he was kind of blackmailing them. And again, we've been hearing this for a long time that a lot of his the women that he was with, some of them when they were younger, they got with him. Then when they got older, he would send them out to recruit. Because he used to do it mainly through his employees, like his bodyguard, the people who work close to him. He would send them out, or he would spot somebody in a concert or spot somebody at the McDonald's, the infamous McDonald's, or, at the mall somewhere, and would have them run up to him like, R. Kelly, he over there, he want to holler at you, take this phone number, give him a call. But eventually, we started hearing that it was getting around that some of his, the women that he was actually with were now recruiting other people, other underage women or females, I should say, underage females or girls. And that is the main reason, again, why a lot of them didn't ever, come forward or didn't try to press charges or didn't try to leave him or go against his rules because he has something over their head. And that was for them, as they said, he was blackmailing them for, bringing him younger, bringing him other, victims, younger women, younger female victims. so that he can sleep with. So basically, and it also says here that a lot of that was captured on film. So for most of the blackmails, for most part, he blackmailed everyone. He makes everybody, this is what they're alleging, that he makes everybody do very degrading stuff, whether it's on film or writing it down. He makes them sign it. And you can recall, we talked about that before, how he would make them write certain things down, make them sign it. So if anything happens, he got this on paper that they said this or they said that. And a lot of the women were ashamed and embarrassed to come out because of stuff like that, incriminating them, even when, they might have wanted to come out and might have wanted to put a stop to R. Kelly a long time ago. But this is finally coming out from one of his last victims, who is finally back at home with her family. And I'm sure her family is extremely happy about this as well. Come on, and please make sure you hit the like button for me and share the live out if you will, please. And thank you so very much. I appreciate it. And of course, if you're not already subscribed to the channel, make sure you are subscribed and hit the notification bell so that you can receive notifications in the future. So as of right now, you guys, again, we're discussing R. Kelly. And we're discussing season 2, episode 5 of R. Kelly. And it was called, again, Bring Our Girls Home. So if you have watched it, make sure you comment in the chat. Let me know what you thought about the episode. Let me know what you thought about any of the characters, any of the cast that played in this episode. Hey, Deanna, what's up? You said it's hot tonight. I know. I'm trying to... I'm up here, been messing around with this doggone green screen and playing around and trying to get my lighting right, and I'm running behind it. Oh, and it's so much going down on these YouTube streets right now. I'm like, I need to get through this review. I need to get through with this review, but I know you're going to keep me updated on everything that's going on. I know I can come to your channel to find out the tea. But yeah, I just wanted to update you guys on some information and kind of combine season 2, episode 5 together with what we now know of, the latest information on R. Kelly. Now, for some of y'all who don't know, R. Kelly is set to go to trial this year in April 2020. He's set to start trial. And again, there's 13 federal charges related to child porn and obstruction of justice. In addition, he faces 26 other state and federal counts related to criminal sexual abuse, sex exploitation of a child, and racketeering. 2 other trial dates are set for 2020 as well, and 1 is still pending. Now, as far as the racketeering and sex exploitation and everything, a lot of those charges come from him transporting women, young girls, transporting young girls all around the world. I mean, from New York to Georgia to Illinois. Is basically the racketeering, including predicate acts of coercing and transporting minor girls to engage in sex, and the charges conduct occurred over the course of 2 decades in New York, Connecticut, Illinois, California, and other locations. So they're alleging, as we already know, and I still don't understand why he's the only one in jail, because they're alleging that him, along with employees and members of his entourage, engaged in a racketeering enterprise. This is like a RICO. This is like RICO. They engaged in a racketeering enterprise that preyed on women and girls who attended his concerts so that the victims could be available to engage in illegal sexual activities with him at a moment's notice. That's what most of the charges are for. And again, they're including A lot of the women, a lot of the teenagers, he preyed on them. He preyed on those who had talents, incredible talents like singing, dancing, beautiful girls, beautiful young women. He promised to make them superstars. It soon turned into rape, child porn, forced labor. He coaxed like some of his victims into sexual acts with certain members of his entourage, of his enterprise. And again, as Azriel mentioned, one of his last victims to finally release herself from him and go back home to her family, she stated that they all mostly were blackmailed into doing disgusting acts, coercing other people to come to him to get involved in illegal sexual activities. And he would either film it or he would have it written down. And that is one of the main reasons why a lot of them took so long to come forward. So for a lot of people were re-victimized for years, over and over and over again, re-victimized, because a lot of times people never believe them. We already know that part, but it has been alleged again that there was some things that he were holding over their heads and having them sign certain things. And all the tapes, the duffel bags of tapes that he had. Remember when they first busted in on him after 2008 and they found a duffel bag behind a door in one of his rooms and they tried to turn it in as evidence, but the judge threw it out because they did an illegal search? Even though all those tapes had him and a whole bunch of young teenagers on those tapes, they couldn't use them. A lot of those tapes, he forced them to be filmed. And so therefore, he still had all those tapes. And he could use that against them maliciously, with malicious intent to blackmail them. So again, we have to also, remember a lot of the victims who were actual victims, and a lot of the media, a lot of the, people especially living in their city, would prejudge these women and say they were doing it to themselves. That's what they get. That's what they were looking for. A lot of times, a lot of these women weren't looking for nothing. And every time they came forward, it wasn't, oh, I want $1 million. Oh, I want $500,000. It was, I want him locked up. And then a lot of the cases got thrown out because they didn't believe them. And then it's like, okay, last resort was always the attorney would try to, have a civil suit, because a lot of them, as far as the criminal charge, people wouldn't believe them. You said, my question is, why is his flick still online too? Girl, you know what? I'll never forget when that one tape came out. When that one tape came out years and years ago, and you can find it everywhere. Every bootleg man who sold tapes, who underground, everybody had it. Almost every house you went to in the hood, everybody had that. And I'm trying to fix my light here. So I'm not so orangey. But everybody had access to those tapes, and you saw it. And from that time on, the way he got off with her family, her parents, not her family, because her family, friends, coaches, teachers, everybody else was like, that's her, that's that little girl, that's him, that's R. Kelly, his own family, that's him. But the two parents who should have been the most responsible for that child and looking for the well-being of that child the most, backed out and let that child down. That was one of the main reasons why a lot of things kept going on for years and years and years and years and years. So now we are literally a few months away, and I'm telling y'all, I wish I could sit in on the trial. I've been sitting in on a trial here locally, a murder trial, which I've been covering on my channel, but I really wish I could sit in on that trial. I really, really, really do. This is going to be like the biggest trial in a long time. And a lot of people is looking forward to him being locked up forever. forever. And if you watch season 2 of Surviving R. Kelly, The Reckoning, this the very last episode, it focused on Geronda, it focused on Azriel, it focused on Joyce Lynn, who else? Lizette, Ebony, Dominique, especially Dominique. It focused on Dominique, and Tiffany Hawkins, again, Asante McGee, and Lanita Carter. Those are the ones that this season 2 focused on the most. Man, at the end of the video, or the end of season 5, Asante McGee, what she had mentioned, as being one of the victims, I think she met him in 2013. Yep, she met him in 2013. And one thing that she did mention was, because of the fact that he was, allowed to continue to do what he was doing, a lot of the victims were blatantly shamed and re-victimized, and this really has to stop. Like, it really has to stop. When people make accusations of somebody that's doing something wrong to them, we can't just always be, what took you so long? Why now? That's why a lot of people remain silent. And you have to keep in mind, people are watching this, like, nationwide. Victims, not just of his, but victims of other people, from the Weinsteins to the Epsteins, from the Cosbys, and just your normal everyday neighbors. People are watching. They see this kind of stuff, and they see how people don't believe them. And they see how they are ashamed and re-victimized. And we have to stop doing this, because the more and more we do that, when it could be your child or somebody's child that somebody close to your family, they will continue to remain silent. They will stay silent much, much longer, if not forever. So we really have to, look at how we victim shame people over and over and over again, just because a celebrity. And just because it's a celebrity that can probably get anybody that he wants to get with, like, they can't do no wrong. And just like, the Mute R. Kelly movement, that started a little while back, went across the world. A lot of people, don't necessarily want his music to go away. A lot of people don't. Some people's like, oh, I'm burning all his CDs. I'm burning everything, that I ever bought from R. Kelly. You right, Shy Girl. It's really, really sad. Young Black girls can't simply be victims. It's always there. Ditto. There you go. Hey, Steve Gibson, what's up? But there you go. You said it right there, Shy Girl. And the thing about it is, it's sad that we gotta sometimes use a race thing. Like, remember when his brother mentioned that he had thought he had took a Stephen King's movie from Kel's house? He asked Kels, can I borrow this CD? Because it was a Stephen King's movie that just came out. And he was like, hey, bro, can I borrow this and take it home? And Kels was really adamant about, no, you got to get your own CD, get your own movie. That was back when VHS tapes was in. And when his brother got home, because he snook and took the tape anyway, and took it home, as soon as he popped it in, he saw on there Kels with some white girls. Why this never came out to the public? Because his bro called him up, went off on him. He went off on him. People had already been talking to Kels for a long time. People had already been telling him he need to stop what he doing. When his brother saw that VHS tape with white people on it, white girls, he called him, chewed him out, cussed him out, like, dude, you need to stop what you're doing. Do you realize how much trouble you can get in? And he said he gave his bro the tape back because that was his bro. And he knew if Kels would have been caught with them tapes, with them white girls on there, like Valley girls on there, oh hell. They would have set his butt on fire at the stake. But again, a lot of enablers along the way, from his brothers on down, a lot of enablers along the way led to this man continually doing what he is doing. And again, some people is like, we don't want to mute R. Kelly, his songs per se, because one thing I like was Cheryl Ralph said, and a lot of you guys know who she is. She's an actor, producer, author. She said there are a lot of artists who have the genius mind, but they are just in a different state. Their music, their art, their words, they live on. But a lot of those great artists was just as troubled as a lot of other people. But with their music, they left us a lot of gems and jewels to, you know, to listen to and to dance to. And like, I don't think nobody ever get tired of Step in the Name of Love. Nobody ever get tired of songs like that. And it's not that he was a wonderful, creative, talented musician, singer, you know, songwriter, even though he couldn't write. But you know what I mean? You know what I mean? I had to throw that in there. But you can't separate the two. You can't really separate the two, or can you? Can you separate a genius and art form from the person that they really truly are? Can you really separate the two? People don't want to separate the two. And that's a problem within itself. People don't want to separate the two. They don't want to say, this is the music. This is the man who did all these horrible, terrible things. They just want to look at, this is the man who music I got married to, the music who we made love to, the music who we gave, you know, we made babies to, the music, the songs that we graduated to, that we party to and celebrated to. That's all they want to see. They don't want to like separate the two. And that's why a lot of people is like, we don't really want to mute his music. We still acknowledge that he was a great artist, but we also have to acknowledge that there's an evil part of him that needs to be stopped. And hopefully when he goes to court in April, y'all know I'm going to be right there too, taking notes so we can discuss the court trial every day of the court trial. So it's coming, and I think it's finally going to come to an end. That's what a lot of people are hoping. A lot of the victims, you know, that's what they really are hoping, that he really finally goes to jail. But it was just really, it's really saddening how we watched all these women being forcefully held against their will, made to be filmed doing certain things that they really didn't want to do, abused mentally, physically, starved. I mean, it's a lot. It's a lot. And a lot of people couldn't will themselves up to watch Surviving R. Kelly Part 1 or Part 2. I truly recommend that you guys take time to watch Part 1 and Part 2. I know somebody really, really close to me who was not willing to believe anything. Like, R. Kelly didn't do nothing. They just want money. They just want dinner. They mama sold them. Like Azriel, when her father had, okay, now y'all remember Gayle King, right? Y'all remember the infamous Gayle King interview when Azriel and Joyce Land, they were sitting up there and they were like, oh, we're fine. He's not doing nothing to us. We're great. He treats us right. Our parents, they forced us to do this. And then Azriel sat there and said that her father basically sold her for $20,000. Basically sold her for $20,000. Now she's coming back with, we were forced to say certain things because there's certain things that he's been holding over their heads, certain films, certain things that he had them, you know, write down in their own handwriting. And the adult, yeah, Shy Girl, I get you. The adults is one thing entirely. The children, the minors, are another thing entirely. With the adults, all I can say is a lot of them was brainwashed. That's all I can say is a lot of them were brainwashed, and a lot of them were blackmailed. From the ones over age to the youngest girls, a lot of them were blackmailed. And when you out here, the way he had them, like, okay, remember Andrea Kelly, his ex-wife? You know how a lot of us believe that Andrea Kelly knows a lot more than what she's let on all these years? All these years, how Andrea Kelly would swear she could be in one other room somewhere else in the house, and it was stuff going on in the other room, and she really didn't have no knowledge of it. And then to come to find out that a lot of the women that he was had in his home, he had in separate wings of the house, or separate sides of the house, and a lot of them didn't even know that there were other women in the house. Now, Andrea Kelly was in the house though. Andrea Kelly, she could run around the house. The other ladies couldn't run around the house. Andrea Kelly to this day still claims that she didn't have any knowledge that he was messing around with underage women or underage girls. I still believe that there is more truth behind her story. I really wish she would come out and say it, but a lot of people knows that if they actually tell what really went on, they could be liable too and be facing charges too. A lot of them. And even though they got him on like RICO charges, claiming him and his party, him and his entourage, him and his managers, him and his bodyguards, and a lot of people help him bring women from all over, from different states, across the borders, across, city borders and state borders. That's where the racketeering charges come in. A lot of people needs to be charged. Really, really, a lot of people needs to be charged. And I'm telling y'all, I can almost bet my life. I've been saying this for a long time. I can almost bet my life that when it's finally time for R. Kelly to go to trial, he is going to start talking. He is going to start talking. He is going to try to take some plea deals. That's what's going to happen. That's what's going to happen. You can bet that. A lot of these people out here walking scotch-free, skipping all over the place, living their own lives around their family, their children, doing their jobs, whatever career they are doing right now. A lot of them is looking on like, dang, they secretly inside, nobody else probably knows, but they secretly inside is praying that he don't say nothing, that he just take all the charges, that he goes down by himself. That's what they hoping for. That's what they hoping and praying for. But we gonna see. We surely gonna see. That Azriel, who I thought would never come around. I mean, she was on TMZ. They was on Gayle King's interview, and each time she was questioned about her family, she was making it seem like her family was this and that. They were abusive. They forced her to get into music, and like all the times when we would see these different these young girls who got wrapped up around him, they had like careers and their futures in the music business. There was tapes, there's videos, there's all kind of evidence and proof that they actually wanted to be involved in music. But as soon as they got with him, the whole story changed. Now they're on Gayle King and they're talking to all these interviewers and, to the media saying, our parents was the ones who wanted us to be in music. We didn't want to go into music. We didn't even like singing. We didn't even like that. But then in this last episode, we talked to producers and songwriters for some of these girls who actually was working with them every day in the studios, trying to, improve their vocal, they sound, improve their art, working on music. They had people teaching them how to dance, making clothes. They was in groups and all this. But then you see them on Gayle King, and they up there, oh, my parents, they forced us to do this. He made them say a lot of things and do a lot of things and put a lot of things on film to blackmail them. And I don't know, like, remember when the first Surviving R. Kelly season 1 came out? And immediately after Lifetime then shut down the production after being threatened by R. Kelly and some of his lawyers and some of his people, immediately afterwards, he or his entourage started putting out these videos, these explicit videos of the ladies, and some of the ladies in part 1. They were embarrassed, they were ashamed, but they didn't back down. They didn't back down. You said Andrea's no victim. I'm sorry. I remember her on IG. I remember that too. Yep, talking about she doesn't care what he does just by his music. Yeah, that was all over the media. I remember that. You talking about the one where she was that the video when she was sitting in her car? And she was in her car and she was like, his music pays my bills and woo 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 woo. That was before he stopped paying child support too. That was before he stopped paying child support too. That Andrea Kelly, I just feel sick. It just makes me sick to know she and a lot of other adults enabled him for all these. It makes me sick. It's like, it's kind of like it's kind of like child trafficking. It was child trafficking, basically. And they were all involved in child trafficking. And child trafficking is a serious, serious crime that goes on across the entire world. And to know that these people, they probably look back at it now like, oh, dang, we was child trafficking. Now, I'm pretty sure back then when they was working with him and they were inviting these girls and passing out his phone number and flying them from here, flying them from New York, Georgia, Illinois, when they was flying these young girls around, I'm sure they wasn't thinking we involved in sex trafficking. I'm sure they didn't. Sex trafficking didn't really become like, I don't want to say mainstream, but you know what I mean? Like, sex trafficking was not something that we always heard in the media or on TV or in TV shows or in movies. That was not something that we heard every day or all the time back in the day. But now I know they looking like, again, I hope Kels don't mention none of us. I hope he don't mention our names, what we did, which child we brought to him. And like Andrea, like Azriel said, and Azriel said that R. Kelly has, and I actually said this a long time ago. I actually said, I'm sure there are hundreds and hundreds of young girls that he done been with in the last 30 years. I done said that, and somebody told me at one time, I don't think it was that many. I have always said, I believe it was hundreds and hundreds of girls that he has probably been with over the last 30 years. And Azriel basically confirms that. She said he has girls in every city that you can imagine. Till this day, he has girls in cities all over. To this day. And I believe it. I honestly do believe it. And she was like the same thing. He does the same thing to all of them. He records them, he films them, and he films them without their knowledge at first. He films them without his, like the time when he filmed his brother. His brother was like, oh, I didn't believe that he actually filmed people without their knowledge till he filmed me. Till he filmed me having sex with somebody, and then I find out the next day, he's like, I got you on film. Look, y'all was look how your face was looking. Look how this. And his brother was like, bro, you recorded me without my knowledge? Enablers for the last 30 years. But I do believe Azriel is telling the truth on that part, as far as there being hundreds and hundreds of other victims and young girls that he done been with, across the United States, if not beyond. But anyway, if y'all haven't seen all of season 2 or all of season 1, it is on Lifetime. I just literally watched it on the internet. I just opened my laptop, went to Lifetime, looked up Surviving R. Kelly. So I don't even think you have to have cable or anything, because I just went to Lifetime Movie Network and just hit play, and it just started playing. So if you haven't seen it, you can still catch it on Lifetime, season 1 and season 2. They said there's going to be a season 3. I don't know what's all going to be in season 3, but I have an idea that season 3 is probably going to have a lot of the court trial in it, since the trial is starting in July. And season 1 came out in like the winter of 2018. And season 2 came out in like the winter of 2019. So I'm imagining season 3 will probably come out as well the winter of this year, of 2020. And it's going to have a lot of the trial, the media, testimonies, witnesses. It's going to have a lot of that in season 3. So they did say there's going to be 3 seasons altogether. So, but the trial again is going to be July. Let's see, what date is it again? July 8th, was it? Is that what I said? Hold on one second. I just want to make sure I give you the right information. Okay, my bad. I said July. I know why I'm thinking about July, because that's when I'm supposed to go out of town, and Deanna is in the chat. And Deanna, who is a YouTuber, by the way, check out her YouTube channel, y'all. Deanna Irwin, she's in the chat. I know she's supposed to be going live later, I assume, since she told me that the YouTube streets are on fire tonight. It's a lot of stuff going on, y'all, in this YouTube sector of our sector. A lot of y'all who are YouTubers, you know what I mean when I say our sector of YouTube. I'm actually, for y'all who don't know, I'm actually in the beef sector, even though I don't beef. But somehow I found myself in this sector. And once you're in a sector, it's kind of really hard to get out unless you like start a totally different YouTube channel and just don't follow and watch certain people. Because one thing about YouTube, for a lot of people who might be thinking about starting a YouTube channel, YouTube analytics system is no joke. If you watch one person on YouTube who's beefing with somebody else on YouTube, 9 times out of 10, you're gonna always get notifications of that channel. They're gonna recommend that channel or them people to you, and you'll be recommended to them people. And that's just how it goes in the YouTube world. If you watch a hair channel on how to do hair, then you'll be recommended those videos, and they'll be, you know, it's a lot. It's a lot. But you content creators, y'all know what I'm talking about. But yeah, so these streets been on fire like all week in our sector of YouTube. But anyway, again, I do not be getting myself involved. I might watch and get a little kiki and be laughing at people while they be dragging people and stuff, but I stay on the porch and do my reviews and my news and my interviews. But anyway, yes. So July, when I was mentioning July, I was thinking of Deanna's get together that a lot of us are going to in July down south in the SIP. So I'm looking forward to that. But as far as R. Kelly's trial is set to start on in April this year. And again, 13 federal charges related to child porn and obstruction of justice, in addition to 26 other state and federal charges related to criminal sexual abuse, exploitation of a child, and racketeering. And he does have also 2 other trial dates set for this year. One is still pending. We don't have the dates for those yet. I presume they'll be after the April 2020 when that starts. So anyway, Azriel, as of December 2019, she is no longer living in Trump Tower with Joyce Lynn. Now, y'all done probably heard on the news how you said Deanna, she's hilarious. Yes, Shy Girl Complex. She is hilarious. You say that's why that billionaire so-called killed himself. Yes. Yes, because and the thing about it is, even though that kind of stuff is major, the pedophile sex rings, the trafficking, when you in jail and when you in jail for that, that's the last thing you want to be in prison for. The last thing. Somebody who probably done murdered 50 people, including everybody in his family, will look at you like you the worst person in the entire world and will try to tear your arse up, literally, pun intended. But yeah. So, but Deanna is hilarious. So y'all can check out her channel if you like. She is really hilarious and has a really, really entertaining personality. But yeah, so Azriel, it was in the news a couple, was it last month? And yeah, January. It's already February. Yeah, okay. So January. Her and Joyce Land, who were like last of like her and Joyce Land was two of the last people to be involved with R. Kelly. And they were still staying in Trump Tower, even though he's been staying in jail. They were still staying in Trump Tower, you know, where he was living with them. But Joyce Land and Azriel, they didn't got into a fight. And Joyce Land jumped on Azriel. It was a verbal and a physical altercation, and this was actually on January 8th. And the fight ended. They both were separated. They said by an unknown individual, according to police, who was responding to a call of battery in progress. Clary was taken to Northwestern Hospital. They said she was in good condition. And Joyce Land, she had ran off after the fight. She did. Should I say it? She did a VS. After the fight, she did a VS and she ran off, but eventually she turned herself in. But anyway, Clary said all of the skeletons are about to come out. She said that R. Kelly has been lying to all of y'all, not to me, because I knew what was going on. But they said he's been lying to all of y'all, and basically it's about to all come out in court. It's about to all come out. And again, I cannot wait. As much as I love R. Kelly's portfolio, the entire portfolio, all the way to the very, very, very beginning. Honey Love, you remind me of my G. I don't see nothing wrong. Age. Well, you know, that was really Aaliyah's song, but still, that was one of our favorites. A lot of his hits was our favorites. And as much as I love his portfolio, you just can't help but to listen to some of the words in a lot of the songs in his portfolio. And that's why some people have chosen to mute R. Kelly. I still haven't got rid of, my music like some people have. Some people done burned it, threw it away, gave it away, sold it. I still have a large number of his CDs, in my collection. I haven't got rid of them. So I cannot say I honestly have silenced him. I can't say that I haven't played any of his music in my house, in my car, in so long. I cannot even remember the last time that I have listened to any of his message in my humble abode. Now at somebody's house or get together, or somebody's party, or at the club, that's different. But so I can't say I totally muted him because I still have some of his music. So I don't want to say I muted him. But you said, didn't they get kicked out of Trump Towers? What I heard was R. Kelly wasn't paying no bills, but he's broke. He is broke. Azriel, I don't know, and you know what? I don't even know where Jocelyn, or why I keep saying Jocelyn. Her name is Joyce Lynn. I don't know where Joyce Lynn is living right now. I just know Azriel is finally back at her parents' house. I know her family couldn't be happier. I know they could not be happier that she's back home. Just like Dominique. Oh my God, Dominique. Like I said, out of all the ones that I really felt the most sorry for, or my heart went out the most, it had to be Dominique. You know, the one that he made dress like a boy, shave all her head off after he snatched a lot of her hair out of her head. He made her shave her hair off, made her dress like a boy, made her involve herself in sexual activities as if she was a boy. Because you know, we done heard that R. Kelly is bi and that he has had orgies or sexual activities with both male and female. That's the one that I felt the most sorry for, because she was really messed up in the head, like really, really messed up in the head. That's the one. Remember the mother who we saw on season 1, who had went to the hotel and had went and knocked on the door with the producers and the camera crew, and she told her that she couldn't talk to her right now because somebody else was in the other room. That was Joyce Lynn in the other room. And then remember, her daughter told her to come back at like 6 o'clock, and the mom went back at 6 o'clock, and they went back and they grabbed her daughter and they grabbed her stuff, and she had like a book bag full of stuff, and they took off. And that was the one I feel the most sorry for out of all of them, even the grown women down to the youngest ones. And besides the one that was on the tape, you know, back in 2008, the one that he went to trial for, the little girl who was like 13, 14 years old. That was really, really sad. But as far as the season 1 and season 2 of the cast and the victims, it was Dominique that my heart went out to the most. But yeah, she's back home with her family. Azriel is finally back home with her family. Joyce Lynn, I don't know Joyce Lynn, but I think she was like one of the main ones who was recruiting. And I think that Joyce Lynn was probably a little abusive to more than just Azriel. It kind of seems like Joyce Lynn was probably like I don't know, like R. Kelly's right hand man or right hand woman, if you want to say it that way, and being abusive to some of the ladies as well. I think they really, really were scared of Joyce Lynn. I do really think, I mean, as far as Azriel and them fighting, and then as far as Dominique, when her mother first tried to come get her, she was like, somebody's in another room. She can't leave. She can't talk right now. She was so scared. I remember seeing that video when it was like on season 1. She was so scared. She was like, oh my God, what are y'all doing here? What are y'all doing here? Somebody's in another room. Y'all gotta go. Y'all gotta go. Y'all gotta go. And it was Joyce Lynn in the other room. So that tells you something right there. But anyway, y'all, that sums it up for season 2 of Surviving R. Kelly, The Reckoning. And again, the last episode was called Bring Our Girls Home. And again, basically all the ones in the show now is totally separated from them. They just waiting for the court, for the trial to start and see what happens. And we shall see right along with them and the entire world what's going to be the fate of R. Kelly, Robert Kelly. So with that being said, you guys, make sure you like the video, share the video. If you're new to my channel, feel free to subscribe to the channel. I do have 3 channels: The Hood Table, Tanya's Primetime TV, Media Reviews, and also my live cake decorating channel called Tanya's Delight Slice by Slice. I am a personal custom cake decorator, cake artist, as I like to be called. No, I'm just playing. You can call me a baker for all I care. But anyway, I do have a live cake decorating channel, Tanya's Delight Slice by Slice. So feel free to subscribe to all three channels if you want to support. All three channels also has a Facebook page, Tanya's Primetime TV, Tanya's Delight Slice by Slice, and The Hood Table. All have Facebook pages where I frequently post upcoming interviews or upcoming video TV show reviews or whatever. And we're also on IG and Twitter. So with that being said, everybody, I'm about to jump off out of here. Thank you, Shy Girl Complex. Thank you. And do you have a channel, Shy Girl? I know I done seen you around in some chats. So do you have a channel as well? Because normally before I wrap up my lives, I always make sure that I let everybody know who the content creators are in my chat. Oh, you said Deanna sent you? Oh, she's so sweet. That's why I love her. I love her. I support her. She supports me. Deanna supports a lot of people. I really, really like her. But thank you. Thank you. I'm going to have to tell her thank you for her sending you by. But if you are a content creator and if you are in the chat, feel free to put a 1 in the chat so other people can know that you are a content creator and so they can check out your channel. So feel free to do that. I'm going to jump off of here and try to catch Deanna. I think she is going live, or maybe she already went live and I missed it. So I'm going to have to catch up with her channel. Again, there's a lot of stuff going on. There's a reality show going on. A lot of YouTubers then signed up for a reality show that they've been filming this week. So I'm looking forward to seeing what that's all about as well. I always said that YouTube is one big reality show, especially in this sector, in this neck of the woods of YouTube. Is one big reality show. A lot of people that canceled their cable because they watch YouTube more than they watch TV. And that's like real talk. I know a lot of people who no longer have cable because YouTube can be very entertaining. And for some of y'all who might not realize that, it's a lot of YouTubers, like millions. And I mean, a lot of them are entertaining. Some of them are like me. They talk about TV shows. They talk about news. They talk about celebrities. Some of them, they roast and gag. They what you call a beef sector, or the what else they call it, the Section 8 sector of YouTube. And but I mean, a lot of people on YouTube are really, really entertaining, and I find myself sometimes getting through my entire workday just jumping channel to channel to channel to channel and being entertained all day long by different YouTube creators. So you said you just hang out in the background in the Black YouTube a lot. I knew I seen you around. I recognize your name, Shy Girl Complex, as soon as you jumped in the chat. But yeah, you said true. I don't watch TV anymore. I got a witness. Let the church say amen. But I do too. I watch like news every now and again, especially when something really big going on. I watch the TV shows, especially the ones that I do reviews on. But other than that, I swear I'm mainly on YouTube as well. Mainly. But you know. We all have a preference. But you guys, thank you so much for tuning in tonight as I finish off this series of season 2 of Surviving R. Kelly. And for everyone who comes in later or after the show is over with, feel free to leave your comments in the comment section. Let me know what you thought about the series or any of the cast members. Or what you think of the upcoming trial that's coming up, or whatever. And make sure you like the video, share the video, and again, subscribe to the channel if you are not already subscribed. And in the meantime, to my The Hood Table family and my Tanya's Primetime Squad, stay safe, be blessed, and I'm out. Deuces.